1510, April 3rd, 2025, right now marks 948 hours of progress on the Global Horror simulation. Currently, all the vertices of the 3D model have been loaded into the custom, completely from scratch DirectX 11 renderer. This is especially good as this proves that this approach is more efficient in terms of being able to write the code faster and understand the data, as well as avoiding adding unnecessary constructs, and it also prevents the file count from increasing in terms of the number of source files. So all of the data and logic is neatly separated for the most part, and comparing this to the source file from one of the tutorials from which this model takes place, which this actual 3D model comes from the JPress DirectX 11 tutorial, whereas this code was completely from scratch, as that tutorial, as with the case of pretty much every DirectX tutorial, has around 30 to 40 different files for rendering a 3D object. And this is the 45th video in that tutorial series, and this has around 1700 lines of code just for the source files by the time one gets to the 45th video for model loading with the asset imported library, whereas this codebase manages pretty much the same thing with 800 lines of code for the source file and not much in the main file, and the data header is fairly easy to read. And the main advantage of this approach is that the control flow of the program is maintained and the data is clearly separated from the logic. Now, looking at the object, it would appear that some of the vertices are being rendered in the incorrect order, which could possibly be a result of not setting the rasterizer state, as there is a default rasterizer state, or it could be something to do with not setting up a depth stencil, or some combination of the two. But the good thing is that the 3D model is finally loaded into the custom, simple, data-oriented renderer. The intention going forward, now that 3D models can be loaded, is to resolve the issue with vertices being rendered in the incorrect order, as well as create a new project featuring a 3D grid and doing some pathing between different points on the 3D grid